yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of the Splatfest songs like Perma stuck in my head because as a TO, I'm sitting there while like 30 people are all just sitting on the stations playing the test fire, and you can just hear it playing around you. And that is actually quite the fond memory for me because I do remember, you know, we had some time to kill on the cast, and we had Fusion there talking about what was new and what was going on in the test fire. It was all very active, and it was really, really cool, actually.
One of my favorite things was that like the Wi-Fi was starting to go out a little bit over at the venue, so people were just in that tutorial area just practicing the squid jump because it was so brand new. They're just, yo, the movement feels crisp, and they're just trying to like practice that maneuver. It was so adorable to watch everyone do it.
Yeah, yeah. I know some people who were there not even to play, but they just pulled out their switches. All right, test fire time. I'm going to take one of these open stations. And it was quite the event for that in particular. And we knew Riptide was coming just a few weeks later with the actual release of the game. So a lot of people anticipating that. Some of those folks are definitely going to both events and getting to play both the test fire and the actual launch of Splatoon 3 at LAN. And you know, running into a few technical issues at the first Splatoon 3 official LAN ran by, I guess, official, unofficial, community run LAN. Yeah, here at Riptide just 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then we were able to finish it out, work out the tweaks, and now here we are here in 2024 with another event to put underneath the belt for Splatoon's history. And the events just keep on popping up, right? We got tons more events coming up in the future. Obviously, any event that we can kind of attach the game to helps out a lot, but there's been some Splatoon-only events, too. I remember we've been seeing a couple over in New York City.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Some people in New York City. We've had a lot more locals pop up in 3. That was quite the rarity in 2. We have little buddy once again in the crowd.
The goat, the savior.
Every time I think it's a puppet, but I think that's just how his face is.
One of my favorite things when I first booted up Splatoon 3 when it came out was customizing little buddy. Oh, there's so many of them.
Oh, the little tiny ones, the little plastic ones.
All right, give it up for loser semis, everybody. Rainmaker, Undertow. Gonna see how this is gonna be able to shake up.
Okay, that's quite the map to start it on. Yeah, we're going right back into it. We were just here a second ago, I could have sworn.
Yeah, it's like history's repeating itself. Time is a elusive flat line and also a circle. But here we go, coming right back into the center of things. Moonlight on the orange color team. Hello Dubai representing the blue side of things. And this is going to see how we're going to be able to find that first pick. We see Omega kind of deep in there, recognizing how deep they were. Going to jump back to be able to give themselves a little bit of soda to help out with those cooldowns.
Yeah, Omega getting picked off there by Grape, who was very patiently waiting for them to approach once again. Getting that pick onto Nolan as they were trying to pop that Kraken as well. That's going to be Dylan and Helix moving up onto that left side here. Going to be running for that checkpoint, but is going to be stopped by Basil in a great defensive effort.
Okay, Sam desperately trying to combat against Basil. Basil puts himself in such a corner that they can't get touched by Basil. Allows the team to be able to come up and be able to get that splat to guarantee that pop open. They're going to leave it alone so they can reset back to center so they can get back into the fray here towards the middle of the stage. It's going to be huge wipeout coming out from HELLO DUBAI. Going to give them the freest knockout of your life and be able to get that dunk and start to make that push towards the finale.
Sam getting a lead and a leg up on that Rainmaker there, is able to dunk it there, but the Kraken is going to drop right on them, and that is going to be nearly leading to a wipeout onto the side of HELLO DUBAI. Nolan going to be pushing down onto the right side here with Omega. They have that bubble ready. What will they do with it? They need to move up here on that left side very quickly if they want to get this checkpoint. That's going to be a double with the Zuka, though. This should make things pretty effortless.
Got that marksman and the shield to help cover their dunk. That's going to be Mount Basil being able to get that on there. Hopefully they can pop this open as fast as possible to try to take over that lead. They do so effortlessly, and they're starting to back up ever so slightly. Let their teammates come in and try to get this fray because HELLO DUBAI is starting to push up ever so slightly against them.
Basil doing a good job at staying alive here with that Rainmaker. They push it down to 49. They've gotten a small lead at this point, but Helix is kind of on that back foot. Once again, that cooler is going to be coming out for their teammates, but they need to make something of this. They need to stay alive a little bit longer. They cannot get wiped out here. Sam's going to be coming in clutch with that bubble, though. It's going to slow things down long enough for Basil to have to back up with that Rainmaker, but it's still getting picks onto Dylan.
Literally just trying to paint, but getting picks in the process. Sam is right next to them. They have been backed up so far until finally they go down. Hello Dubai find that pick, but that's going to be a huge splat coming out there from the finale. Going to leave the Rainmaker alone for now before we see an opportunity for it to either reset or find a way to get a pick up. But right now, I think both teams are just kind of go back into the fight.
Yeah, we see Shadow here getting caught a little bit off guard by Helix, who is now going to be picking up that Rainmaker. 2 down. They're just desperately trying to find that Decapitator. They could be anywhere, but it looks like they're going to be opting to running that Rainmaker right. This is for a very small lead. Potentially, they're going to be trying to move up on this ramp. It's very difficult to get any points there, but they nevertheless take it down to 34.
They knew what the mission was, and they took it without hesitation. All they wanted to do was just try to take a slight little gap lead for themselves. That's exactly what it was. Mission accomplished. We're going to come right back over to Moonlight. Going to be a pick here for Shadow. Only 2v3 at the back up. Unfortunately, Sam was right there, ready for that next pick.
Sam doing a great job at skirmishing, moving up here with Grape once again. They're taking over mid, and they have that lead. They can get comfy here. They can take whatever spot they want. Sam's going to be popping that bubble there, and that is going to be procking Nolan into popping that Kraken and running right in there. Going to be combating that head on there, quite literally, as they try and pop that Rainmaker shield there with Nolan in mid.
Here we go. That's going to be 3 people down here. Moonlight has a perfect avenue to try to make this push. Took a little bit while for Basil to be able to pick that up. Going to give HELLO DUBAI plenty of time to respawn in, to jump back into the fray. We see Omega trying to chill underneath the Shadow, trying to get a splat. Unfortunately, a flank came out from HELLO DUBAI. They were able to shut down that approach.
Yes, I think that was Helix who was able to stop that push there. Shadow going to be the one to pick up that Rainmaker there. They're going to be trying to squid roll around this, getting it down to 46, but that's not going to be quite enough. Omega is here once again, but getting it a sword off with Sam. Sam gets the jump on it and takes that pick. They're going to be moving up here once again, holding onto that Rainmaker, but not quite making any progress. They have so much time to kill here. 40 seconds left on the board, and they can stall as long as they want. I think they're going to be relying on that 34 push here from now on, Austin.
HELLO DUBAI in a beautiful spot. Even though they just got knocked down with the Rainmaker, doesn't matter because there's less than 25 seconds on the clock. This is definitely going to be one of the last pushes here for Moonlight to try to take back this lead. But currently, HELLO DUBAI is putting up a fort of a defense route, denying every single person from being able to go up towards the Rainmaker. And another pick on top of that. Grape going to catch this landing on top of it, catches the landing. Big picks throwing out the Whaler on top of it. Timer coming down to 3, 2, 1. Rainmaker bust open, and that's the game.
HELLO DUBAI taking game 1. And you have a few members to thank for that. A very good defensive pressure. Honestly, the only opportunity that Moonlight was going to be able to get there was if they were able to wipe out every single member of HELLO DUBAI, because you saw each one of them had that clutch factor in that game. If Helix was down, Sam had his back. It was that tight.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as I say. And now that was the first map, a little bit different from winners finals, right? Because we're no longer in counter pick territory. We're back to set maps, as you'll see right above us, right? We got Clamblitz coming up next on Barnacle and Dime. So this is going to be one of the more chaotic matches that we'll see probably within the set.
Absolutely here. Yeah, Barnacle and Dime is one of those, it can be a little bit campy. So watching that decav against decav matchup here, you're going to see a lot of big bubbler, most likely if Omega decides to pull that out here once again. But ultimately, I think it's going to come down to whoever wins that first fight. I think they can, both teams have a very good chance at holding it beyond there.
Yeah, it just depends on who can be able to get that first initial push, because the last time we saw Clamblitz in the previous set, we saw that first push come in. They broke open the hoop, and then they just never left enemy base. They were just constantly just like almost spawn camping them to a degree, right? Just keeping the clams on, the pressure on them. So we'll see how it's going to shake up with 2 completely different teams on a completely different map this time around.
Yeah, both teams have a very aggressive play style, so they're definitely going to be working around that. And when it comes down to it, it's almost like, all right, who pulled the card first? Who hit the buzzer? Who managed this first? So that's definitely a little bit harder with with Clamblitz than it is Rainmaker, because you're managing so many tiny little objectives. There's a lot more micromanaging rather than this one giant fish that everyone is focused on. So how we're managing, how we're focusing our attention here is everything in this game.
Wait, I'm so sorry. What did the crowd just say?
I think they said HELLO DUBAI.
Oh, okay. Cheering on for their teams. I feel it. But that's going to be the buzzer right there. The bell has been rung. Almost time here for game number 2. Look at them locking it in. Both teams just making sure everything's hunky-dory before we dive in as the timer started to tick. I see 5 seconds left on the clock, potentially. Here we go.
Are you guys ready for game 2 in this set? You love to hear it, yeah.
I think they are. Clam Blitz.
Oh, the smooth transition from camera to reel. Okay.
Big fan, big fan. Let's go production.
Yeah, we love production.
Go, that's exactly what they're gonna do. Clam Blitz again, it's all about trying to find all those individual clams and trying to play the econ game all throughout the map. So you're seeing a lot of them just dash immediately towards the middle while one player just chills in the back to not only pick up clams, but also build up a little bit of that special meter. That's very valuable for the team fights.
Yeah, Omega here picking up in mid, actually able to get the turnaround onto Grape and the pick there once again. They're going to be taking over complete control of their alleyway, but looks like Helix, or not Helix, was able to get that pick onto them and is able to clear that out. That Zuka's going to be coming out. That's going to take out Shadow once again, and they spot out Basil. Dylan on an absolute tear, going to be getting under their basket here, but do they have enough clams? They do, but they have to play Ring Around the Rosie. That ball is going to be coming out the big bubbler.
They broke it open just like that. That's going to give them that first initial pick, but unfortunately they're starting to get pushed back, so it's not going to be too much of a dent in the scoreboard, right? Not only did they only get that 20 points, but they also gave a pity clam towards the opponent's team, which could turn the tides later on in the match.
Regardless of the amount of points there, though, they have still put Moonlight onto their back foot here. They have to concern themselves with clearing out this right side of the map before they can really explore the idea of doing anything else. So that cooler is going to be coming in as Dylan once again pops out of that basket and extends their lead once more by another 10 points. That's still going to be Grape and Sam dropping under their pit. That bubbler is going to be going off a lot much better this time as they are able to stand underneath it and continue dunking in and extending that lead, Austin.
And the whole time, Basil is just trying to find a good avenue to try to get a shot from the corner, trying to play as safe as possible, but took a little bit too long, so it gave HELLO DUBAI ample opportunity to put such a huge dent in the scoreboard. But that's going to be a wipeout. Only one person left. You don't even have the clams ready to do anything about this lead. It's one of those unfortunate situations where it's like, well, shoot, we got them all, but now what do we do?
Yeah, you can see Sam and Grape going back into mid, trying to collect what they can. Helix holding up that position, though, which is a very bold move for a pencil, but the Zuka is going to be coming out to support them as well. Dylan absolutely assisting in this push, but it seems like members of Moonlight got behind them. What does it matter, though? They're able to get another push into that basket, and now they once again have to concern themselves with that clam economy. But now we can finally breathe a little bit, maybe get some space in mid, but Sam does not want to explore that idea. Is going to be pushing up on that right side of the snipe.
Pushing it up and being hyper aggressive. We see Dylan getting a pick there on Shadow, has another power clam ready to rock, getting ever so close to their hoop. Lets it respawn in the second respawn. They break it open immediately, and here come the individual clams, each one being worth 3 points. Only 26 left on the scoreboard. Grape trying to put on a fight, has to back up. That's a power clam being deposited for your troubles, and with some interest. 6 points. That is 2 clams away from a victory. Can they find it? I think they're gonna have to back up at this point, and now things are looking bleak for Moonlight.
I don't know if you caught that as well, but they actually did have enough clams to knock out the game right there and then. But it was just a matter of getting to that basket in a stealthy way, and you know Moonlight was not going to let up any angle there. So from here on in, Moonlight trying to win these fights in mid, finally gets onto the left side of the map. It's just going to be Helix left defending up on this top left side with that pencil. Is going to have to back up, is able to get the jump out, even though that wasn't direct. No second was spared in that moment. And as Moonlight gets in here, it's going to be their first push of the game. They have great clam economy to support this, and they do still have that pity clam under their basket.
What a fantastic push. Someone might have to go back and retreat, then jump right back in. That's exactly what Basil's going to do, right? Try to get 3 more clams, come right back in there, keep that cooldown going, manage to throw right back in to refresh that timer. Sam's going to be able to clean up shop there, get a pick on Omega, and now finally shutting down that push, and what a push it was, Siren.
Wow. Sam not taking any moment to breathe. They are going to be moving up right onto the side there with Nolan. Is not going to let Nolan feel safe, not going to let Nolan feel like they can start painting that map there. Omega stuck between all these killer whales, trying to get that soda, trying to stay alive a little bit longer here. But Sam, once again, getting into this great position here, is going to be popping that bubbler onto the basket, and that's going to seal the deal. That's going to be the game.
HELLO DUBAI is up 2-0 with 3 more games, 3 3 more opportunities for them to just take one more game and solidify themselves a top 3 position here at Riptide 2024. Can they pull this off, or is Moonlight going to start to mount a comeback? We'll just have to wait and see with game number 3 right around the corner.
Surely you know by this point why I was so scared of Sam.
I get it. It makes sense. I felt the intimidation just watching the match. I definitely don't want to be on the opponent's side for that match, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they're going to have to come up with some sort of strategy, and they need to do it quickly. They need to figure out what are their opportunities here to continue into the set. They cannot risk losing it, and it's tower control on ship shape. Not to be that guy, but this map is not the great, like, I don't want to be here if I'm in hot water. I don't. I really don't.
Stu?
It's not. This is one of those maps where you push it down below 10 no matter what, almost all the time. When we played this earlier, I think the final points were like 2 and 6.
Always that individual number, or even like a knockout right afterwards. Very easy to be able to break through those first 2 checkpoints, right, which gives you that huge advantage, be able to have that additional lead. Might be the mix-up of type of game knowledge that Moonlight desperately needs to try to mix something up to give themselves a little bit of momentum boost.
Absolutely here, yeah. They have to play this very carefully. They're going to want to get that knockout because they just don't want to get risky in that situation there. So they can't get any of the members of Hello Dubai set up, because you saw what happened once they got set up. They do not stop, and that's not good for a very snowbally map like this. Like, it can happen on anything, but like this map in particular is very susceptible to that type of gameplay. So once again, I think it's another one of those situations where whoever gets that first fight is going to be the victor. I hate to be so bold, but like that's kind of the reality we're looking at here, I think.
Oh, what's going on? Oh, we're taking a selfie with the crowd?
That's a different kind of drip. All right. Me next.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Can we, yeah, do it with the casters now. You know,
yeah,
we're over here.
We can see
waiting.
you.
Nah, it's okay. We'll go up there later. You know, we'll get our just desserts later on. You know, go up there.
It'll happen.
One of the coolest things to do, obviously, when you're on the big stage, is just seeing that giant crowd, playing for a giant crowd. Completely different than playing in the comfort of your own house and room. Right? What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? We got tower control. Could be the last game of the set. Who knows? Maybe this is the start of a reverse sweep. Either way, crowd, I think you know what to do.
I think they do as well. Siren, here we go. Ready? Go! As they're going to rush off towards that center stage. A lot of good weapons coming out here from both sides. Heel's going to stick with that pencil. Been doing a lot of good work with it. See what we can be able to turn that into. It's one of those weird charger weapons. They can actually shoot and charge multiple times, right?
Yeah, it's kind of got a similar play style to like what Bamboo was in 2, in the sense that you're kind of tap shotting, not for full damage. But here we are, Dylan popping that Zuka onto that top left there. Grape is going to be moving in on that as well, and they're able to seal that deal. Dylan is going to be having to back up here. It seems Moonlight does not want to go down that easily. Nolan getting up on that top left side is not going to allow anyone onto the side of Hello Dubai to defend any part of this whatsoever.
They even had a barrier up for your troubles to like deny all those shots. Not gonna be able to stop the whale though in the process. Gonna force them off of the tower. Not gonna be able to shut that down just yet. Big, huge pick coming up from Sam. The way he just controls movement too is out of this world. The 180 swaps to be able to catch someone completely behind him is so fast and quick.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at them go. Already getting a push of their own. That Zuka, what? I think we missed that. That just took down about everyone there with the assistance of Grape as well. They're holding on to that killer whale, and they can do whatever they want with that. That is certainly the lead, and look at how much coverage they have from this off angle.
Gonna be able to break open that first checkpoint. Hello Dubai on the yellow team seems to have themselves a pretty good lead right now. Starting to slowly approach that second checkpoint. Unfortunately, gonna get stopped in their tracks here as we find ourselves with a splat coming out from Moonlight. Managed to trade it in the process, and now Grape here trying to paint out a little bit of this map here to give themselves a little bit of breathing room and some map control that can help out in this future fight. That's gonna be a huge pick, Siren.
Wow, getting Dylan out of the way, that's actually going to be huge for them here. They still need to get quite a convincing push on this map. This is definitely no safe push for anyone. Like, no one looks at that 61 and they go, yeah, this is it, we're done. So they need to move in here a little bit farther. That Zuka's going to be ready here. They're going to be holding on to some specials, but that's not going to be good for them with Nolan going down. They need to be very careful about what they do here. As you can see Dylan coming up on that side. They say, hey, this is free real estate. right. That's going to be Sam going down as well. Omega in a great spot to play aggressively here, but how did they get 2 down?
I don't know, because they had such a great defense going on there, right? Bubble and Trizuka still going to be able to lose it out here as Hello Dubai going for yet another push, using the sprinkler to help them play a little bit of defense. A fantastic snipe coming out from Dylan, and another pick coming out from Great. Turn this into a 4v3, a 4v1. I'm so sorry, they just keep it going. It is starting to snowball. Like you said, it was potentially able to happen on this map, and now Hello Dubai starting to approach that third and second checkpoint to help them break open potentially into this finale.
You can see Hello Dubai trying to break through that final checkpoint onto the tower. That tactical is going to provide some cover for a little bit longer, but Nolan able to finally clear out Dylan from their court. Look at it again. There's still so much coverage here. That's a bad thing and a good thing. Basil is going to be able to charge up that tactical very fast, but at what cost? They're moving at such slower speed compared to the members of Hello Dubai. Everything is coming out. That Kraken's on the bottom right, but what's it here for?
I don't know. It might not be good enough because you're down one of your teammates, right? We saw a 1v1 happen over there. Sam with the victor. Gonna be able to give them, turn this into a 4v3. Another conversion, another 1v1 coming out. Grape coming up to try to do the assist. Takes down Basil in the process. There's gonna be one more player left here. Managed to try to go for the trade. Omega somehow alive. How are you here?
Omega, hey, he's coming over. He doesn't care if he has an invitation or not. He's going to be coming into your spawn at any time here, and that Helix is going to be having to turn around a little bit. Look at all these angles that they have to take. No side of the map belongs to anyone anymore.
That's going to be a huge pick and a double here for Nolan. Going to help Shadow be able to push down that tower, get some reinforcements here on top. They're going to have to run away from that suction bomb. Fantastic pick coming up from Grape. Now Shadow has to go for rotation. All everyone's falling down. This push is going to stop down in its tracks. Omega hanging on for dear life, putting down the bubble, trying to do a 1v1 with Samus. Samus is so evasive. Managed to get assist in the process. Starts to go in deeper and try to go for a flank, but the whale's got to force you back, and finally Omega goes down. But we're at the second checkpoint now.
Shadow getting the shark there, getting the pick onto Grape. That's huge. 20. This could be the lead. 19 seconds. But Sam hops that tower. It's 18. 2 more points to go. They were able to stay alive long enough. Nolan can be on that tower. 30 seconds left to go. This is a knockout. They're going to be hopping it back on. That was a knockout. The crowd is going absolutely wild right now. Everyone is getting up from their chairs, including Moonlight. Is this where we get the drip pick with Moonlight? Because like we're closer to them right now.
I don't know. Literally, this is just one of those crazy moments where Hello Dubai had such momentum there at the very beginning of that game, right? It was looking like the set was going to be over. Then Moonlight brings it back for the depths of despair, finally putting a point on the scoreboard, and this could be the start of a potential comeback.
Absolutely. This could be a reverse. Who knows? We're still on these selected maps. We are at the mercy of the map pool at this point, though. Consider that.
Yeah, I'm considering it. One thing I'm also considering is just the incredible gameplay coming out from Omega, just trying to survive for his teammates to allow people to jump back in to get those assists and be able to get all of that momentum to push that tower into a KO position. Even though they lost both their towers first before they even took one, they were still able to mount that comeback and claim victory for map number 3.
Man, I have almost lost my breath every single one of these games. I'm not gonna lie to you there.
It's tough,
and
right?
I don't know, like, this keeps going on. I might not be able to survive. This could be my last.
Say it ain't so, Simon. We got plenty of more Splatoon action right after this. You can't even be able to think about it. But our next map coming up, Splat Zones.
On Umami, no less.
Umami.
Umami Ruins. That's a split zones map if you aren't familiar. So that means there's going to be 2 splat zones that they're going to have to capture at any given time if they want to be taking down any points on this map. And that kind of makes it a little bit different from a lot of other zones map that only has a 1 for coverage in the regards that the management is kind of similar to clams. You have to watch every single part of the map and not just the little thing and stand in front of it, because there's a lot of angles to flank from. It can get a little bit spawn campy, but I find that a lot of teams don't really quite struggle to break out of that. But once again, I think the key players in this game perhaps are going to be Basil once he gets set up on any given spot. Basil on top mid.
Yo!
Chicken with him. All right. We got the chicken. We got the sidekick.
There it is.
We love the chicken around here.
Big fan. Chicken. Oh, where'd he go?
Oh,
Hey! That was like the scariest, like, oh, where'd he go? Into, Retribution. Game number 4, everybody. Splat Zones. Umami Ruins. Y'all already know the drill.
I think I heard a no there.
Ready? Go.
All right. Looking at both of these teams, Nolan once again pulling out Old Reliable, and we see the decavs coming out on both sides, once again relying on that bubble kit. So very early on, Grape going to be going for that left side of the map, while the other 3 devote their resources to the right. How this will pan out? Oh, well, not well for them, I suppose.
Yeah, that's going to be an immediate wipeout to start things off for Moonlight. Going to give them that prime opportunity to get this free real estate, build up their meter, and start to tick down those points.
Yeah, you can see Dylan really paying care to how they break out of it. They don't want to go down in their spawn here, but Sam's going to take that risky play, going to drop down there, is ready to push back the other members of Moonlight into the zones where they belong. Getting the pick on a Shadow, that's going to be huge. Is on top mid, spots that jump in, but isn't quite able to do anything about it.
Sam was starting to turn into a one-man army there for a second, trying to get pick after pick, but gets stopped in his tracks. That's going to give Hello Dubai an opportunity to be able to put this paint back on, try to reclaim the zone. They finally managed to do so and put on the penalty points to help them out, because that was over 50 points taken on the first push of the game.
Yeah, Grape is going to be taking top mid, but not for very long, as Moonlight once again gets that retaliation. The assist coming out. The Zuka is on deck, but Sam, playing a great distraction in mid, is going to hold that zone neutral for a little bit longer and make these damaging plays that is going to force Moonlight to not quite push up into their base. That's going to create the opening for Hello Dubai to come back in, but how are we going to respond with that Zuka?
Shadow has the Trizuka ready to rock, trying to push them out of position. A 1v1 going on between them, and Grape has the assist coming out, so Grape going to try to take down that bubbler in the process just to help them out with trying to get as much paint control as possible. And now we're coming into our potential next push. Moonlight starting to build up that meter bit by bit. Going to give them the opportunity to get those specials to mount an offense here. That's going to be one charge ready to go. But here comes the Trizuka. They're starting to push in. Here we go. The Kraken. Got to be on the lookout for it. Dylan getting caught off guard from behind from Nolan.
Grape is going to be moving back here. Is going to be. Are they going to get the pick on Basil? Yes. Okay. They're going to drop down for 40 seconds. Not 40 seconds, but they are down into the very, very narrow margin here. He's going to be able to take that lead there. Spots Omega, whiffs the kill. Wait, Grape's going to go down as well. Dylan under their snipe. It's going to be playing a little bit sneaky here. They do have to be mindful of that. Very demure. I'm sorry.
Very demure, very calm, as they're going to try to come in with some extra hype coming out from Shadow. Here comes that Trizuka shooting off in the middle. Now point blank shot. Another one. Omega can't be stopped. Forces Helix to evacuate from this situation. And goes for a third one on top of that. Omega's playing out of their mind for Moonlight.
Omega backing up, wants to keep this streak going, does not want to be stopped right now. They are looking down the barrel of a lead swap here. If they're able to keep this up, that bubble is going to be on deck there for them. They're going to be popping that out on that dome. And then, wait again, Sam coming back out is going to try and stop this, but then Zuka's going to come in clutch. Once again, it's just going to be Shadow left on zone. But what's he going to do? He's going to house that jump and get the pick on to Dylan here. 30 seconds left to go. They have to win one more fight if they want to reclaim that lead for themselves.
Shadow trying to reclaim this lead again and again. They have yet to get the penalty points. They take it back. Hold on a second. They didn't even lose the center point. Also was one person to stay alive. Omega going for a trade against Grape. Gonna give Moonlight the opportunity to push it as hard as they can, but unfortunately Hello Dubai has all 4 of their teammates up and alive, and they gotta start painting if they want to hold on to this lead.
Sam going to be pushing up onto that left side here. Is going to be taking top mid once again. They're holding onto that 9 lead with the tip of their fingers here. That cooler is going to be coming out. They're spotting Omega. That 1v1 doesn't quite work out, but Helix cleans it up. Helix moving back here is going to stay alive for as long as they can. That penalty point is quite intimidating, but they only have 1 minute left to go, so it could go either way at this point. They have 2 down on the side of Moonlight, playing it safe, housing these jumps, watching that Shadow Zuka coming out onto the left. Grape is going to have to back up onto that pillow. And as they grab these coolers here, mid could very well be theirs.
Moonlight's not the only one that lets a game 5. I'm sure the crowd wants it too, because we're seeing this push coming out from Nolan, trying to move Grape onto the back foot here, forcing out the whale, trying to grab some soda for the instant respawn in. Once it goes down, Omega, that's going to be a gigantic pick here for Hello Dubai. So many points left here to be able to take on the table, forcing Nolan back. 30 seconds on the clock, Siren.
Sam getting that punish onto that Kraken there, is able to chase through. 20 seconds left to go. That bubbler's going to be there. They're going to have to stop that because Sam can camp that zone for as long as they want. They can hold that neutral. It doesn't matter what they do. They have to take care of Sam. There's no other option. They're able to do it. 10 seconds left on the board. Are they going to be able to cap the zone in time? They are!
Time for Omega to make this Omega push. It's going to be the final one of your set. Oh no, the whale stopping them all in their tracks. There's only one person left alive, and they can't do anything about it. Hello Dubai is your loser semis victor. It's going to move on into losers finals 3-1.
I cannot believe what I just saw there. They just took out one of the biggest competitors, one of the front runners in the losers bracket. That's major. We are going to be seeing Hello Dubai moving on in this tournament, and in a very convincing set, only really dropping that one game and quite the fumble. It was very tight.
Insanely tight, but unfortunately they just couldn't pull it off into a Game 5 situation. Guys, give it up for Moonlight for going down the 4th place finish here at Riptide 20.